what does a bad day look like versus a good day for me? You can see how I flipped the two around, right? Because I like to always offer hope at the end of my videos, and this is one where I wanted to just kind of discuss. Um, because it's easy to feel down in my current situation. Do you know what I mean? Easy to get down, easy to feel negative. Um, I aim to try and keep it lighthearted. That's why I post the shorts, as I said, like all the short videos, and also just making peace with the past, remembering the good times fondly, but also how they're going to change in the future. Um, but yeah, also acknowledging that you're never far off a bad day and you need to be careful. Like it's been very windy out recently. I know I've posted a few videos of me going out walking with the dog and all that, but it's gotten me down. I've been feeling a bit down the last few days, if I'm being honest. Now that could be down to a number of things. Like I did go out drinking last week, so even those few drinks could have had an effect. Um, Also did a lot more socialising than I've been doing for a while, which burns me out. I had a good time, but it does burn me out. A bad day for me is where I'm constantly just sensitive to any bit of criticism whatsoever. I am seeing everything wrong with the world. Everything bothers me. Why couldn't things be easier? Why can't things be better? You know, I saw something. My mum actually showed me an interesting stat that if you took all the billionaires in the UK and gave them like you made them pay 90% of the tax that they owe, but they get some sort of relief from it. I don't know, but there's some rule over in the UK. I don't know how their tax system works, but apparently they get off when they get a certain amount of money with not paying taxes, tax relief of some kind. And if they were made to pay 90% of that, they would still be billionaires. So, or at least multi-millionaires. They'd have a lot of money, put it that way. And you're wondering, like, we get ads saying just for €5 you can help over Africa and whatever charities want to take your money. And I don't really like all that shit. Like I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of times people are guilt tripping you when there's enough money to go around. And I've donated to charities before. I give money to homeless people on the streets when I see them, and I feel like a lot of times it doesn't get appreciated, and that's just me being honest. And again, that's on a bad day where I'm quite pessimistic and questioning everything. But can you imagine if those people gave just a fraction of their wealth? We could cure world hunger, but unfortunately, they don't want to. If you ever watch Wall Street, you can see the mind of people like that, with Michael Douglas. It's just a game, a power game. The money doesn't even mean anything. It's just I want the most expensive. I have to one up everybody. This is a game, and I'm always going to be the winner. And it's a very tragic place, especially if you're an empathetic person like I am. Like saying this doesn't feel nice, but I'm kind of there thinking, where is all my money going when I do send it to charity? Where does it go? And it's a tragic state of affairs. Doesn't have to be like this, but unfortunately, those who control the wealth control everything. They have the means to do whatever they want. We like to hope that they're not bad people, but unfortunately, we're starting to see differently, aren't we? We're starting to see the truth. Getting a bit conspiracy theory, I know, but it gets me down. And then I have to remind myself just to focus on me, that I'm not doing very well. And if I was to focus on everyone else, I'd get even more sick. I do start thinking to myself that I'm only young. Like, yeah, I've gone out and drank loads before, but I look at other people who do it and they go out drinking way more than me. And yet I'm miserable down the dumps, want to, end it all, want to unsubscribe to this world. I get stomach problems, I can't eat properly, all this sort of shit. And you see other people going around and they're able to carry on life. You're young, you're supposed to be going out making a fool of yourself, drinking. I just can't do it, I have to accept that. I feel kind of boring at times, but that's just me. Even like the field that I had only recently, got to be careful. Um, and because of the shit weather, because I can't go in swimming because it's too dangerous, and it's cold, but it's also very dangerous. You know, it wouldn't be wise to go in like this at the moment. Um, and you always think to yourself, and I have many times, I've gone out and I've done a gym session when I haven't felt like it. I've shown up somewhere when I didn't feel like it, and I go, fair play to me. Then I do it again, and you think it's going to get easier. Do it again. You think it's going to get easier. You do it again and again and again. And if anything, it gets harder, and your willpower just gets more worn down. That's what it's like to be depressed. I don't think people can actually get their head around that until they actually go through it. And you don't wish it on your worst enemy. That's the God's honest truth. And I'm not saying that I have some higher power, some means of lording it over people, or you don't understand. There's plenty of people who understand what I'm talking about. And my heart goes out to you. I wish I could cure it all, but sadly I can't. Um, you always hold out and just think it'll get easier, it'll get better. One day it'll just click and it'll all be easier. The truth is, you have to carry on every day, and if you're not capable of it, it's just going to wear you into the ground. It's going to become harder and harder. I feel like people are too into, oh, I was depressed and I got over it, you can too. There is situational depression. There are events that will make you feel depressed, and that's all right. You're not a bad person because you got over it and somebody else didn't. But you can't just get over it. Like, if it affects you, and like, I've gone back to doctors and been diagnosed with treatment resistant depression, with endogenous is what they said, but just means within, and unfortunately it'll be there for life, which makes you feel great about yourself, to be honest. This channel gives me hope, though. It does. And all the good, positive people out there. This channel, in many ways, has saved my life. And there's other things that have too, like different people who have. But this is part of it. I feel like there's a sense of worth doing this. There's a sense of worth doing coaching and all the other things that I'm involved in, and I need them. I do. A bad day for me is I shit appetite, barely get out of bed, don't have the motivation to go out for a walk or anything like that. Even though I know it'll make me feel somewhat better, sometimes it just makes me feel less shit. You know what I mean? I'll sleep loads as well because I'm exhausted. It is exhausting. Like it's so exhausting. But you ask yourself, why reach for stuff like depressants? Why do you drink when you're depressed? Because it's so unbearable. It's not as if you're in a good place to begin with and you want it to end. And at a certain point, feeling absolutely miserable is better than feeling nothing, because that's what depression is. It's nothing. It's just an emptiness. And it makes me feel sad, like, when I think about how Christmas has kind of lost its value for me. The last few Christmases have been very sad and lonely, and sorry guys, this is a miserable fucking video, I know. That's why I said I'd start with the bad and end with the good, because yeah, when the childhood joy kind of goes from Christmas, it's such a sad feeling, really. And it's not all about drink, and it's about eating. It's about family and friends. And I guess, like, having seen people's true colours recently, learning that there's a lack of connection with a lot of family members as well. Something that I knew but didn't want to face up to. And now that I finally have, the feeling that I was afraid of has come, sadly. And it's not easy. When you're there going, oh, look, did you see this? Or trying to connect with someone when there is no connection. And then you're kind of admitting to yourself there will never be that connection. You're like, oh, I guess I didn't want to admit it to myself. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. And I've been doing stuff to stay busy. It's very hard for me in the mornings, getting up early. I understand it's important, and you do feel like a lazy prick, believe me. But I've spoken to people, like, from my compassion focused therapy group as well. It's hard in the mornings. It really is. When you're mentally ill, the mornings are difficult. They're very difficult. Like, I also feel like a lot of times the novelty of something wears off, and I know that comes with everything. But when you start something new, it's exciting, and that does happen for everybody. I'm not denying that, but it's very hard to stick with stuff. It becomes more difficult, and then like at times you may need to pull back from stuff. But then you're at home, and you like that's the thing. Like the last few days, I've been at home. I'm kind of thinking to myself, I want to get out. I want to go places like me and my brother went to see a movie on Saturday, and then we went out for dinner with the family yesterday. I bring the dog for a walk every day just to get me out of the house. Um, on Thursday, I had the coaching, and I was speaking about how disappointing that was. Gutted for the lads. Um, got me in a bit of a downer afterwards because I thought they put in so much work. It's not about me; it's about them, and you kind of come into it with an ideal type of idea, like a real idealistic approach. Yeah, watching too many movies, when when the coach takes the team of underdogs to success, that's not reality, guys. That isn't reality. And even if it is a true story in some ways, it's like it's dramatized. And like, did you even see with the blind side? Like that doesn't have a happy ending now. Like he's bringing them to court or something. Um, so they like to give everything a twee happy ending, but sadly that's not reality. That's Hollywood for you. And how many wonderful people are coming out now is not so wonderful. Not good. But you don't have to surround yourself with bad people. And even if you are on your own, not being around the bad people is good. Getting yourself to whatever you can get to. Like, I have a sense of worth going to coaching, going to my local development group, going coaching tomorrow, and then I've got my they're putting on a dinner or a lunch for us on Wednesday as a thank you. I'm thanking them, like fair play to them. They organised it for us, and it's been great to get out and do it. But I know employers look at people and they want you to be very motivated and, oh, are you excited? I wish I was. I wish I could get myself motivated. I wish I could be, oh yeah, buzzing to go. I've always wished that about myself, but most of the time I just don't have it in me. The apathy that comes with this type of mental illness is like overwhelming. It's very hard. And a lot of times you don't see the point in doing a lot of things, but just keep chipping away at it. And if you have to have that lie-in, do. Sleep as much as you fucking need to. Because I'll tell you now, I have worked hard. I have. To somebody else, it might seem like nothing. For me, it gave me that sickening feeling in my stomach. I was exhausted. I just thought I was being lazy. No. I'm prone to mental illness. Depression wears you down, and I've had stress in my life, believe me. And so have all my poor family, sadly. Now I'm finally getting time to reflect and build, and I've come through a lot, I have, and I've grown. This is just a little blip, but I thought I would post it while it's tough, because it is tough at the minute. I'm not excited to decorate the Christmas tree, my mum and my brother are trying to psych everybody up, but it feels like it just wears down. I'm like, oh, so what? Or, it's just another day, and no, I want to get excited for it. I do. I want to be happy for it. I want to be excited, but just not. Can't control it. Try getting a lot done over summer when I'm more motivated. To get the house looking decent for when the harsher months come in. And I know I'll be less motivated and less energetic. You know, kind of didn't know how life would turn out. Like, there's a lot of I never thought I'd end up like this, or I didn't think I'd live to see this age, if I'm being perfectly honest. So that's something. Um, got myself a college degree, so the plan would be like in the future, I'd love to go to see Australia, and if I like it there, stay. And I guess living on my own has shown me that I can do it. Um, Because I'm being honest, I don't see a future here in Ireland. Uh, the rent is just extortionate. It seems like you should be grateful for getting any job, but I know that seems like the case around the world. But people talk about my generation being lazy, and I do get it. Like, we definitely think we can be the CEO and don't want to put in all the hard work. We want the end goal without putting in all the hard yards, paying our dues, if you like. So, yeah, that's often the thing. That's why we're such an anxious bunch in this generation, because we focus on the past a lot, you know, not dwelling, but like I kind of deal with nostalgia, which is good. I look back fondly on that stuff, but we dwell on the past and then get anxious about the future and think, oh, I want to be the next, girl boss or whatever the fuck you wanted. But you have to actually pay your dues, unfortunately. You've got to do the hard work first. We all have to. And that can be different. Like, you might look at someone who's from a wealthy family and they become a doctor and think, oh, they have it sorted. Being a doctor is not easy. Not at all. Like, that's different to maybe someone who comes from a working class family and is a electrician. Just using my own dad as an example. Like, he worked very hard, but at the cost of his own mental health and not really knowing us as kids. We don't really know him. We don't really have much of a connection. I can't be honest with him. I talk shite with him all the time because I can't connect on a deeper level, really. But I'm not denying he worked his arse off. But like, I've done god awful jobs, that like, I've cleaned shit out of bins. I was the spud man in the chipper, so like lifting big bags in and topping them into the machine and getting the chips ready, getting all the fridges full up, folding pizza boxes, getting them ready for collection. Cycled to and from that job. Loved it because it was left alone, nobody bothering me. Beautiful day, go for a swim after work, cool off, get back and just chill. That was lovely. Hard to get myself up every day, and that was on a beautiful summer day. It was hard for me to get out. I wish I could just get up and out and not have to psych myself up so much. Um, and even times where I have managed to do it consistently, I got sick, So I guess my threshold for that type of thing just isn't great. Oh yeah, I've worked on construction sites and like doing the shitty stuff like mixing the cement for people. I digging holes, being a labourer. None of the skilled craft, if you like, just the dog work, hoovering stairs, hoovering halls, those shitty industrial hoovers. Um, Worked in retail, worked in a paintball shop, kitchen porter, so washing dishes, washing floors, etc. Um, yeah, like I've done the hard yards. I think in a lot of ways, and I've done 4 years of college as well, 4.5 actually, and then I had a breakdown, an inevitable breakdown. So I've done night shift as well in that time. I don't know. I want better for myself. I want more. I'm not saying that I'll never work night shift or anything again, but it does age you badly, and I'd like to be more picky. I'm not picky at all. I'm the type that feels grateful that anyone would want to give me a job. That's not the good way to be. You need to have confidence, and unfortunately, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Touch wood. So moving on then, after the miserable shit, let's talk positives because there is positives. I've got the degree behind me. That's something. I've been down dumps before, gotten through it. I've got a family around me that are supportive. Got a beautiful dog that I love, Alfie. Great fella. Keeps me sane. Yeah, got people in my corner helping me out, and I'm in a time where if you're neurodiverse, it's a good time to be alive because there is a lot more help out there than there has been ever, really. So there's something. Um, yeah, and I've shown resilience when I needed to, and now it's time to be picky and to get myself something that I want. You know, we all deserve to be happy, I believe, but we can't always be happy. we've got to work hard. That's true. I'm not saying you never have to work hard, but what I'm saying is do it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? So I know when I say hard work doesn't get you what you want, but it certainly helps. You know, you might not get the result you want purely by working hard. There's a bit of luck involved as well, and you know, and lucky break might come your way. You might know the right people. You might be more outgoing and more sociable, so you're more likely to find things out. That kind of way. You know, if you're shy and reserved, maybe not. So I used to be shy and reserved, and then geez, I never stopped asking for stuff. Um, but yeah, look, I'm getting more self confidence, and I've had a lot of training now to get this better. That I can cope with the hard times because they will come. They're inevitably going to come, but we can all get through it. And as well, and one thing I'm grateful for is this channel. All you guys, all the positive people anyway. Fuck the trolls, am I right? Um, yeah, minds are more predisposed to the negative shit. I know, like it's easy to dwell on the negatives, but let's be grateful for stuff. Let's be grateful for what we have, because Lord knows, um, if I hadn't got certain opportunities, certain lucky breaks, certain great people coming into my life when they did, who knows? Who knows? You know. Yeah, and I've learned a lot, and I've worked hard, and I haven't gotten the results that I always felt I deserved, but I've learned from that too. And if anything, like Thursday just gone, with the lads not getting the result I feel they deserved, it taught me that we have to show them now this is what you have to bounce back from. This is a chance for them to learn, to grow from this, you know, because if they can grow from that, that was extremely upsetting for all of us. And I can only imagine how they felt if we felt that bad on the sideline as coaches. So I'm also, because I've had those challenges a week ago, it feels mad, time is flying, isn't it? But at that game a week ago, that lad that I spoke to, I can have empathy for him because I've been that fella. I've been there. And chatting to him and seeing him a lot more upbeat and a lot more positive on Thursday was great to see, even after we lost. And he's hard on himself. I know he is. He's the type. He's like me in that regard. Extremely hard on himself if he makes a mistake. So it's up to people like us. I don't like the word empath gets thrown around a lot, but I would say those of us who have good empathy, you know, we can put ourselves in other people's shoes, which is what empathy is. You know, sympathy is more, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm sorry you're in such a bad way. Pity would be kind of the way of looking at that. Um, I don't think, like, sometimes sympathy is good because we can't relate to the other person, but we can go, I don't understand, but I know you're going through a hard time, and I hope you get better. But empathy is like, I know, I've been there, and trust me, I'm here for you. I can't promise you everything's going to get better. I don't like giving false hope, but I like to go, look, shit happens, I've been there myself. Anything I can do to help, you want to just have a chat or whatever, sometimes it does help. Um, so positives can come from negatives, if that makes sense. I'll finish it off with that confusing quote, but yeah, I just thought I'd post that, guys, because it's good to get it out there and relate to other people. So, hope you are all doing well, and take care.